Welcome to Family Friday. After a brief break, I pick up key ideas from Ephesians 4 and apply them to family settings. Listen to these essential concepts from Ephesians 4. So then, putting away falsehood, let all of us speak the truth to our neighbors, for we are members of one another. Be angry, but do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. And do not make room for the devil. That's Ephesians chapter 4, verses 25 through 27 from the New Revised Standard Version. Falsehood and anger are two behaviors that corrode the bond of relationships. Last time I spoke of how families can hide abuse and thereby promote falsehood by refusing to address the detrimental problems that are eating them alive. The potential for anger is high when someone finally confronts falsehood and tells the truth. The truth teller, the listener to the truth, or both are likely to vent wrathfully and respond in kind. The emotional damage done to spouses and children is considerable when anger is given full rein. As I think about myself, my greatest regret is that I often discipline my kids in anger. Now, releasing such anger may have provided me relief for the moment, but it demonstrated to my children I was at times an untrustworthy fool. And the Bible advises against anger and really warns us to be careful. You must understand this, my beloved. Let everyone be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. For your anger does not produce God's righteousness. That's James chapter 1, verses 19 through 20. From the New Revised Standard Version. Here's something Jesus said, "But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, 'You fool,' you will be liable to the hell of fire." That's Matthew 5:22. From the New Revised Standard Version. Now, Ephesians 4:26 starts out with "be angry." Now, this is not permission to do so. Rather, it is an attention getter to warn us about the dangers of anger. Sin not is the key of verse 26. Be angry, but sin not. And if you're not going to sin when you're angry, that takes thought, reflection, and planning. If our anger is reactive, sin is upon us. And if you look at it, everything said in Ephesians chapter 4 assumes that the believers are mindful of their new way of life in Christ. And if we are in Christ and have every spiritual blessing, according to Ephesians chapter 1, verse 3, why should we ever get angry? It does not benefit the angry person. You really need to think about it. Try to figure out the sources of your anger and see its inconsistency with your new way of life in Jesus. Now, you may need to interact with spouse or kids as they may be able to identify the sources or triggers of your anger more readily than you. There are two more ideas in Ephesians chapter 4, 26 through 7 that tells us, number one, anger needs to be addressed as soon as possible. Don't let the sun set down on it. If you do, this is point 3, you're giving the devil a foothold into your marriage and family. Not sure that you have anger in your life or in your family? Then consider the 5 behaviors that John M. Gutman uses to predict the likelihood of divorce in a couple. The harsh startup, criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. These are behaviors of unresolved anger. I ask you, reflect how you and your spouse interact. Reflect how you and the kids interact. Don't foster falsehood that everything is all right when it's not. And when you speak the truth, do so as best as you can for the concern of your family. Until next time, God bless, and make a note of every time you get angry.